to Knit. It is Wednesday the 23rd of March, dear me, 2022, and I'm coming to you as always from Devon in the southwest of England, where I usually live with my husband and 2 kids, but my husband is up in Edinburgh this week, and my 2 kids are at school. As of tomorrow, my daughter, my 13-year-old, has to go back to remote learning, as the you know what numbers are very high down here. But so I thought I would try and record today. It's a beautiful day here, and hopefully the light's a wee bit better, but I have had a nightmare of trying to record. My iPad isn't working properly, and I've had to turn this on to, what is it? It's not selfie mode, the other mode, front facing, back facing, whatever. I've tried and tried and tried. It keeps freezing. First world problems, I know, but I hope this isn't too bad. I was watching lovely Inga of Knitting Traditions yesterday, and she was sitting out on her balcony with the fjords behind her and the snow-capped mountains and everything. And here I am with half a grey wall. And I'm sitting on the bed in my craft room and I'm trying to record. But I wanted to record today because I have a lot to share with you, and I hope this works. I'm so sorry, I can't see what I'm doing. I have a mirror, so if I look very funny, I will try to look at the camera, and I'll try and get it fixed for next time. My phone doesn't have enough storage to do this, so who knows how it'll go. But as I say, first world problems, and I'm here and I'm dying to share all the wee goodies that I've been doing since I last saw you. So, and of course I've left my water over at the far side of the desk. It's going so well, isn't it? Oh, is it still recording? It's still recording. Oh, this is going to be a disaster. But anyway, we're here. You never expect a professional podcast off me at the best time, so this is really, really bad today. But anyway, so what have I been up to? Oh, dear me. Well, where can you find me first would probably be the best. You can find me on Instagram as Ruth Loves to Knit Podcast. You can find me on Ravelry as Ruth Loves to Knit, and you can find me by email on ruthlovestoknit@gmail.com, and do feel free to use any of those modes, although as I always say, I don't use Ravelry as much as the other two, but I always try and reply, and of course you can leave a message down below as well. I always try to reply as quick as I can to any of those emails or messages. So I said my husband's away at the moment, and but my parents are hopefully arriving on Thursday. They were meant to come at Christmas, but they cancelled due to everything that's going on, and they moved their flights to Thursday. So we're praying that that'll still happen, and that they'll arrive safely. My husband flies in about an hour before they arrive, so he'll bring them to the house. So this week craft room has had as we would say, a complete dung out. I don't understand what that is. I have cleared it up because my poor dad will have to sleep in here. I'm sitting on the single bed that is in here, and I think he would have suffocated if he had been in here with the amount of stuff that was in. So there might be a bit of a destash coming again at some point, but that's another story. I'm just looking at my notes here because the way the morning's gone, it could go all over the place. I wanted to just remind you that this month, for the whole month, I'll be giving all my ad revenue to the Ukraine crisis. Obviously, still absolute nightmare over there, and we don't forget those people in any shape or form, and we're still praying that there will be a peaceful resolution to the whole thing. On that note, I bought, many people were trying to buy things from Ukrainian makers, from people who were supporting the Ukraine, and I bought 3 pairs of socks set off a lady, and she's on Etsy, and her name is D19 Eco-Friendly Life, and I'll try and put it in if it's not on the screen, because the way things are going at the minute, who knows what'll happen. If it's not on the screen, I'll put it in the notes. And she has actually, I bought them off her, and she sent me the most beautiful message. She's in the Ukraine, and I didn't expect to hear anything. And then yesterday she sent me a free pattern to thank me. What a generous gift. And actually that free pattern is on Ravelry too, and it's fairy tale socks. But I'm going, she sells you know, sock blockers and things, but obviously that would be maybe difficult to post at the minute. So if you want to go over and check her out for beautiful sock patterns, hopefully I will have put a picture up as well. And that's D19 Eco-Friendly Life, just to mention that. I mentioned the podcast situation, oh my goodness, but hopefully I can speak to somebody genius and get this all sorted. It's affecting Zoom meetings too, and I kept thinking it would just, you know, I'd turn it off and on, it would be all right, but yeah, I'm sorry if I'm not looking at the camera, I really am, but I'm trying my best here. Oh yes, quite a few of you were asking me how the school knitting was going. If you watched my last podcast, I said that after that podcast I was heading into the local primary school where I'm a governor to teach some knitting for Lent, and I think the Lent bit's gone to the wall, but we have had so much fun. Oh, the first day I thought this is a disaster, I will never cope. I think there was 15 came at once, and the noise, and as Lovely Brogan from the Woolly Witchcraft podcast says, they had the concentration of a yogurt. And I just thought, oh, I came home, my head was bursting. Any primary school teachers watching, I take my hat off to you. But we've calmed it all down, and until this week I was seeing them at lunchtime and a wee bit of after school time, and there's only 4 coming each time. But COVID has hit the school and can't go in. I think several teachers and a lot of kids, so it's all been put on hold again. But they're knitting away. At the end of every session I correct what they've knitted, but they're loving it. They're coming in. 4 or 5 have really picked it up well. There's one wee girl in particular, I have to tell you, I won't tell you anything about her because obviously for child protection, but she's just a lovely wee blonde haired girl, and she comes in and she gives you a hug, and then the first time that she knit a row, she said to me, "Did I knit that?" And I said, "Yes, you knit a row." And she burst into tears, grabbed the knitting and ran to tell her teacher that she'd knit a row. So, oh, my heart absolutely broke for her, but, you know, I was so happy for her, and, you know, just a silly wee bit of knitting is just making their day. So that's how it's going. So I kind of stalled at the minute. We might have to start from scratch whenever everything opens up again for them, but it's been doing so well. So thank you very much, everybody who's inquired about that. I can't see how long I'm gabbing on here either, so this could go. Grab a drink, pause, grab a drink, go to the toilet, do whatever you have to do. Okay, so what am I wearing? Well, last time I wore a lovely yellow cardigan, and the camera did not like it. The whole thing went yellowy, so wearing something a lot more muted today, but I'm wearing the sock set shawl. Oh no, I'm not. I had the sock set shawl on and I changed it. Ignore me. Oh dear me. We'll go into FOs. Anybody watching this, please just forgive me this week. Oh dear me. So I'm wearing a finished object, and it is the Ephemeris Shawl. I showed it as a whip last week. It's absolutely beautiful. I couldn't put this down. Sorry, I don't want to speak with it in front of my face. It's really, really quick because it's all slip stitches. And I'm just going to put it on me again. And really, really quick because it's slip stitches. And I think I told you the story that I got 2 very, very cheap PomPom magazines from the Yarn and Yarns Destash, and the day I got it, I cast this on, and I used Regina Silk 4-ply in the colorways. Now somebody did tell me how to pronounce this, but I'm just going to say it's colorway 45, and it's that's the purple, and it's Feige, F-E-I-G-E. That's not how the person told me to pronounce it, but anyway, and it's the purpley one, and then the pinky kind of, I'm holding these up close enough, is rose, and it is colorway 31, and as I say, it's the hope that's going to turn out the right way as well, Regina Silk, and it's beautiful to knit with. I thoroughly enjoyed knitting with it, and I would recommend it to anybody. I'm going to pause this 1 wee minute because I don't know if it's recording. I'm going to see if I can edit it to a better quality. Right, so where were we? So this was my first finished object, the Ephemeris shawl done in beautiful Regina Silk. My second finished object is this fine specimen, and I showed you this as a whip last time too. And of course I don't have the best laid plans. Anyway, this is the Calville shawl by Merriweather Knits. I will try and put a photograph here of beautiful Gabriella wearing it. I think this is going in and out of focus too. You may never see the light of day. This might never see the light of day. And this is the beautiful shawl. The beautiful moss stitch. And it is just gorgeous. I knit it in Blue Fern Yarns. I thought I had a tag, but it has gone amiss. And it's in her bamboo merino base, and it's so soft and warm yet light. It is really, really gorgeous. And the colourway is Magnolia. And if you remember, I got this as I won one of them because on her podcast, lovely Shannon of Blue Fern Yarns has a podcast. She does a competition. If you use her yarn, she does a draw, and I knit a Tiffany Lynn design in her yarn, and I won. So I won one of these skeins, and then I knit a sample for her shop, and the payment I got 2 more skeins. So it uses 3 skeins of DK. I have maybe 20 grams left now. Gabriella's a lot slimmer than me, even though she's pregnant. She's got lovely, fine, slim shoulders, and she can wear this as a shawl, and it's quite drapey on her. But for me, it doesn't quite work. But saying that, I didn't block it massively because I wanted these lovely ridges to stay. So I could have blocked this twice as big, but it's perfect for just round your neck. I've got one on, but never mind. So just round your neck, like that. It's just, I mean, what more could you want? And it just shows the beautiful detail and the little bit of eyelet as well. Can you see that? Yeah, I love it. She did hers obviously in a plain colour, but I just thought this was calling to me. And I mean, you can see the drape. It's just gorgeous. So that's the Calville shawl in Blue Fern Yarns. By Merriweather Knitting, and that's not long out. And I forgot to say that lovely Gabriella did gift that pattern to me, which I really appreciated, and I would recommend. Now, if you remember, if you've watched before, I knit a shawl out of the Silta shawl, and I had trouble with my right and left twisted stitches, and I was a bit worried about, because obviously that's what this is, but I think it's definitely this is the right. And this is the left. They're definitely not as tidy as one side, but they're beautiful. I think they're beautiful. And oh, the other thing, it's all coming back to me now, is this beautiful braid that she has you do several times, and she lovely instructions for that. Now I would have said that's a lateral braid or a Latvian braid, but she called it something else, and I'll not be able to remember what it is now. But if you buy the pattern, you'll see, and it just separates the different parts just beautifully. So there you are, the Calville shawl, two finished objects, 2 shawls. If you've watched before, you know I can't get enough shawls. I think it was my dad said, what do you do with all those shawls? Well, I'll show you in a wee bit later on what I'm doing with all those shawls. And I wear them every day. Wind, rain, hail, I feel naked without them. And obviously now I'll be moving on to maybe the 1 skein shawls more than the big heavy ones. Although I went to church on Sunday and I wore my shawl as a shawl. I put a lovely shawl pin on, and I was happy as Larry. And then my last, I have 2 more finished objects. One I haven't got with me and I can't show you. It's a secret. It was for the, if you've been watching, you know I've been knitting for the Botanical Yarns sock club samples, and I've done another one, and it's April's one, and I've sent that off. So I couldn't show you the yarn or the sock pattern. It's by Twin Set and Pearl, who've designed all the socks for her, but hopefully I'll be able to show you a picture of that later on. So they're knit and away. And then lastly, my handbag socks. You know I always have a pair of handbag socks. Look at these beauties. Look at those. These are by Rainbow Fusions, and it's Stormy Neon Rainbow, and it was a 50-gram sock set, so yes, a 50-gram sock set, and I added the wee heels, toes and cuffs just from a random one that I had. And I was talking to somebody, I was talking to Laura in my local wool shop, the Woolly Beater, yesterday, and I was saying to her that actually I absolutely have fallen in love with the shadow wrap heel, and I'm not particularly hard on my socks, but I have definitely noticed that the heel isn't wearing as well as the heel flap and gusset. So I'm going between the two now, really, and I'm hoping for the best. So yeah, I think for stripes, for proper dominant stripes, I know these are stripy, but I think I'll stick with the shadow wrap heels so that the stripes aren't broken up. But I think I am leaning towards the heel flap and gusset again, just for tough wearing. My brain's frazzled this morning. And yeah, so that's just my handbag socks are out of the way, and they're done. I haven't blocked them. I'll just be going in my sock basket to add to the, if I put a wee picture here maybe, add to the, I washed all my socks, not my Christmas socks, I have a box of Christmas socks too, but I washed all my socks the other day in this beautiful weather, and they're all ready to wear, and it makes me so happy. And if you want to see a wee bit about it, I put an Instagram post up about just the memories that those socks have for me. And so that's that. So four finished objects. 3 I've shown you, 1 I can't show you, but probably will be able to next time. And yeah, but both the shawls were very quick to knit, DK, and this was slip stitches, so they were off the needles really quick. So of course I cast on all things. Last time I said, I reminded you of my hashtag, it's my knitting, I'll cast on if I want to, and I certainly did. So pause it now again and go and get a cup of tea, run to the loo, watch it tomorrow, whatever, because we have lots of whips, works in progress. And we were discussing on an Instagram, we do discuss more interesting things than this, but or on a Zoom, whether it's project or project. And I've thought about it so many times. I works in progress. I don't know what way I say it, so we'll see. But I have lots of projects on the go. Now the first one, excuse me, I'll have to turn around, is one that I've actually knit before, and I've brought the one that I knit before with me, and it's a Noncho. I'll put the original photograph up there. I'm trying not to print the photographs off now, just save a wee bit of ink. And this is the one I knit last year. And I have worn this to the death. I love a poncho. I was saying to somebody the other day that I'm like a child who puts their hands over their eyes and thinks you can't see them. I think if I wear a poncho, it covers up all manner of sins. But but this one here I wore a lot, and it's a brilliant transitional piece. This time of year you don't know what to wear. Do you take your coat? Do you not take your coat? Do you wear boots? Do you wear shoes? Whatever. And this is just the perfect thing to wear. I can't remember. I used the Life in the Long Grass and a skein from a knit crate box that I got, and then I gave away the rest of it on a wee giveaway on the podcast, and it's so soft. It's lovely. I really love it. Now this is by Casapinka, sorry. I'll put all the details down below. And this one I didn't do any short rows on, but I have cast on, excuse me, a new one. I just needed some really mindless knitting, because really there's not much thought. That sounds awful. It's a great wee pattern, just round and round and round really. And so this is the one. See if I get the right. So I've done short rows. They're optional. You don't have to do them. I've done short rows in this one, and this is what we've got so far. Yes, yellow. I don't think the colours are coming out as well in this, and it's going out and in, but I hope you can see. You see the design there. And I'm just knitting round and round, and you do a increase in every other row in the middle to make the poncho shape go out. So I just used a random mini for the top, but then I used some lovely yarn for the rest of it, which I will show you. It's this yarn. Now I got this off a Destash a long time ago. I think it's Truly Hooked, but there was no labels with it. But it's really beautiful. And then a lovely viewer of my podcast, Lydia, messaged me a wee while ago, and I've shown the picture of the yarn she showed me on Instagram, and said, could you do with any more yellow yarn? And she says, I'm just not going to use it. I want to give it to a good home. And I said, well, how much do you want for it? And she wouldn't take anything for it. I tried to do a swap with her. She wouldn't take it. She's trying to cut down on her stash. And this was the lovely part of it. I'll show you the rest of it in a wee minute or two. The lovely yarn that she sent me. 2 skeins of this. It's DK from Miss Moffat Yarns. I'd never heard of that. It's hand dyed beside the seaside. It's DK base, blue face Leicester, and the colourway Sand. Well, no, I don't know if I would say that was Sand. But, so I've got 2 of those and 2 of the speckled. And I hope you can get the how beautiful it's really turning out. So I would say that'll be finished, because it's just sort of to your elbows, a wee bit lower than your elbows. It's not a big poncho, and that has been brilliant for meetings, training sessions. I seem to just be in meetings. And I've really enjoyed doing that. Yeah, that's my take on the Noncho, DK Noncho. Now, the pattern does have the option for a fingering weight one, which I have in my sights. So that'll be the next thing to do. And that's, of course, in my So Yarnalicious bag by Lovely Ez. That's number 1. Then I thought, the sun's out. We're taking a few of the layers off. It's warming up, drying the clothes in the line again. What'll I cast on? I'll cast on a black cardigan. Now, I have had this cardigan in my queue. I think this was one of my 6 bucket list things that I'm still holding on to. I've had the yarn for at least 5 years. Sorry, rustling. This is the yarn from JC Rennie. I think I told you many times that when we lived up in Peterhead, we lived just in the next town to JC Rennie Mill, so I have been there a few times. This is their Supersoft, and it's super soft. It's rusticy but not scratchy at all. Some areas are a bit thick and thin, which I actually really like. And this is the colourway Charcoal, and it's 100% wool. They do it in 50-gram balls, so I have 10, but I don't think I'll need the 10. So that's JC. It's a wee bit heathered, JC Rennie, and the pattern, hopefully, is by my lovely Isabell Kraemer, and it's the Mariechen. I'm sure you'll all correct me. I think it's the Mariechen. All the details are there. And honestly, to be honest, I wanted to cast something on because I had itchy needles, itchy fingers, but I couldn't be bothered winding up the wool because my husband has now fixed my ball. I'm looking up there because it's up on the top of the shelf. It has now fixed my ball winder, but I haven't tested it. He tested it and he says it's fixed. But these were already balled up. Do you do that? Do you ever do that? So that's why I cast it on, and I just thought, oh, sure. And it's quick, it's DK. So what we have, and of course, it'll probably not show up on a podcast because it's dark. I'm going to get the right side. Oh dear me, is that the right? Yes, this is the right side. So it'll go like this. It's a raglan cardigan. Maybe any more cat-handed this morning at all. So it's a raglan cardigan. So it'll go like that. And I don't know if you can see the lovely... Can you see there's like a faux cable? For all the days to be showing this when I can't do it right. And then a lovely design there. So I've only just started really. Beautiful to work with, really lovely. I really can't see whether you can see that faux cable. I wonder could you see it better on the other side. Yeah, there you go. And it's a lovely cardigan. Actually, you know, in the summer, in the evenings here, it can still be nippy. And excuse me, dropped it on the floor. And I just think I'm going to really enjoy this. I don't know if I'll put buttons on it. I'm not great for buttoning it, but it's been on my list for so long. Now, this isn't the most size inclusive pattern. The biggest size is 51 inches, but now Isabell is making a lot bigger patterns, but I know she hasn't been very well this year, but she is gradually going through her old patterns and increasing sizes, but her new patterns are right all the 10 sizes. So I don't normally advocate a pattern that's not got way up to 64 inches, but I had this one. I bought it probably as soon as it came out, and I've had the wool for so long that I'm just going to cast it on. And for a cardigan, I think you can get away with a cardigan a bit more than a sweater if it's not buttoned up. So that's the Mariechen by Isabell Kraemer, and it's in my Mrs. Brown's bags. We're getting there. This is going to be 100 years long, this podcast. Then in this lovely bag by my wonderful friend Hannah of Hannah's Happy Space. Sorry, Hannah, you got my name in your podcast much quicker than I got your name in. I got this for Christmas from Hannah, and the I just thought this was the time to cast it on, because you'll see in a wee minute. Now, it's not exact colours, but it's near enough that I could find in my stash, and the colours are these two. And I think all our minds, as I said at the start, are on the Ukraine, and this is coming up beautifully, I think. I hope. I don't like this camera. And the yellowy one is Goldilocks, and the blue one, greeny blue one, is Ocean Deep, I think. Yes, Ocean Deep. And Hannah dyed those for me for Christmas, and you'll see more of Hannah's yarn in a wee minute. Oh, that's better. And I have cast on the Exordium Shawl by, another name, by Rebecca Picoult. Picoult, is that a French name? I don't know, I don't speak French. I did try when I was in school and failed miserably. And this is what, I'll put a picture of the actual shawl up on the screen, and this is what I have done so far. All the tangled yarns, do apologise. You can see the lovely design there, and it is just gorgeous. I'd say I was about 2/3 the way through, and I think it's shown off Hannah's yarn just beautifully. The one that I showed you in the picture is a lot more subtle, but I absolutely love this. It's so squishy with the garter, and then these wee stitches here. And it's just gorgeous, and it just about fits in the bag because I wanted it, matchy but it is a bit of a squeeze, but I'd say it'll not be long before I have it finished anyway, and I'll be wearing it. So that is the Exordium by Rebecca Picoult. I'll put all the details, and there's my wee bag from my lovely friend Hannah. And then so that's all the things actually cast on. I have another pair of socks that I've been asked to knit for Botanical Yarns, but she said there was no hurry, so I won't be able to find them. Here we go. And they are the Daily Socks by SummerLeeKnits, and I'll put a picture up here. And I'll just show you the yarn, and this is the yarn that I'll be using. I really no idea if this is showing up or... There we go. So those will have to be cast on, but that's just a lovely textured sock. It's fine, that'll be done. Those won't be my handbag socks, but they might be my Zoom knitting or something like that, but I'll just chug away at those. As you say, she said there was no hurry, so that's that. And then another pair of socks, these are my handbag socks. there's a lovely teacher at the local primary school, and he taught my son. He's very young. He looks younger than the children. You won't mind me saying that. When I first saw him, I thought, oh my goodness. And he's just in his early 20s, but he is a fantastic guy. He's got the energy to deal with, and enthusiasm to deal with the children. And he has come into, because he knows me, he's come into every knitting lesson we've had. Just popped in, said hello at his lunch break with a cup of tea in his hand. And he was teasing, you know, that he needs to learn to knit and all the rest of it. And we decided that we would tell him that if he would learn to knit, we would give money to, we would raise money and we would give it to the charity of choice. So of course it's all gone put to pot because he's, you know, I'm not allowed back into the school. But I said I'll make it worth your while as well. And I said I'll make you a pair of socks, I'll knit you a pair of socks. And I said, what's your favourite colour? And his answer was Man United. Now I'm not a football supporter, and I'm sure there's other football teams are available, but he said Man United. So I looked it up, and this is the emblem that I found. And so I cast on, and this is what I've got so far. Now, I sent a picture of this to my brother, and he immediately said, oh, Liverpool, because he was thinking of the football strips, but they change them every year, so I'm not sticking to that. But I thought this was as close as didn't matter for a pair of socks. And I'm using just a wee yellow mini that I had, and then the red, the lovely red, really nice letterbox red. Oh, this is awful. This lightened everything. Is by Mrs. S. Whoop. Oh, good grief. Mrs. S. Creations. Now, it's called Frankenstein, but then she's got a colourway 108. So I don't know if she did, these are wee, you know, mishap skeins or what they were, but that's the colourway. I've never used her yarn before, but it's nice. There you go. And then it's all in my wee bag by lovely Nikki. She made this for me from the Sheep and Cheerful podcast. It's got just wee quotes. It's like, when God thinks about me, he smiles real big. The Lord, acknowledge the Lord in all your ways and he will direct your path. And I just love, I just love him. God was happy when he made me. I make God happy just because I'm me. And that's lovely wee reminders from that. So it's a cute wee bag, and I'm very happy to have my Manchester United socks in it. Oh dear me. So I'll get those done at some point. Again, there's no hurry for those either. And then, you know, I have mentioned in my last podcast that it's my birthday on Sunday, and it's Mother's Day here in the UK on Sunday, and the time changes. We lose an hour. Who thought the best day to do that was on Mother's? Whenever small children are going to have their sleep all destroyed anyway, to then say, and now you lose an hour, mums. So, but I had to have a birthday cast on, didn't I? And I was on Instagram, and I saw a lovely shawl. Who was knitting it? Lovely Karen from Knitting and Labradors, is that her podcast? And I just thought this was perfect. I'll put a picture up here, and it's called the Birthday Bash Shawl by Callie Munster of Munster Knits. Isn't that a fantastic? I don't know if it's a real surname, but if it is, I think it's fantastic. And I'm going to cast this on. I mean, have to. It's like, you know. And I have had these two yarns wound up in my stash since before I moved here, so over nearly 3 years ago. And I've had them for different projects, and I've never used them. So I'm going to use them for this, and I'm just going to go for it, and they're nice and bright. So the first one is this kind of denim-y blue. That's not working, is it? And that's from Cookston Crafts. And not going to show up very well, I don't think. And it is 60% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 20% superfine alpaca, 400 meters. Can't see if that's shown or not. Cookston Crafts. She lives up in Ellen, which was very close to where I lived in Peterhead. I went to her studio for one of my birthdays, actually. And the next one is Ted Knits. and it's called Monster Mash. Oh, I didn't even register with that. That's perfect for a design by Callie Munster, isn't it? Never even registered. And it's merino nylon, and look at this beauty. Look at this beauty. Gorgeous. So that's going to be cast on, and it's, of course, it's in one of my So Yarnalicious bags with the lovely garter stitch. So that's going to be cast on. Sorry if your head's reeling, but it's my knitting. I'll cast on if I want to. I just chug away at them, and yeah. I had, in the last 3 weeks, I had about a week of really feeling rubbish, so I did get quite a bit of knitting done, and that's all I really was able to do, and thankfully yesterday and today I feel not too bad, and so yes, I just, you know, there's no time limit for any of them. As I said to my mum whenever she was saying different things about my birthday, I said I'll be this age all year, so I will enjoy knitting on those things. So oh, is that? Yes. So I've got my handbag socks, my new cast-ons, and all my whips. Are you still with me? Are you? I can see that this is focusing in and out. You may never see never see the light of day if I decide it's not good enough. But we'll keep going for now anyway. So I have been very, very blessed with a lot of incoming stuff. Now, I haven't bought any of it. People are just genuinely kind, lovely people, and I just want to show you a wee bit of it now, and show you the rest whenever I'm knitting up with it. Well, I showed you the lovely yellow yarn that Lydia sent me, so I just move this over, and she also sent me 3 skeins of these beauties, lovely gold. It's from All About Yarn. I don't know what she washes her yarn in when she's doing it, but always smells beautiful. And it is called Corn, and it's 75 superwash merino. It's at 25% now, and I've got 3 of those, and it's 425 meters, so there's plenty there. And I've 3 of those, as I say, and she sent me the other 2. And she sent me a wee soap, in a wee yellow bunny soap, and my son thought it was some sort of Easter chocolate, and decided to try and take a bite out of it. That didn't go down well. Thank you very, very much, Lydia. I just appreciate you so much. And then lovely Rebecca of the Kraemer podcast messaged me and said, could I have your address? And she had had some hand-dyed yarn in her stash that she didn't feel that she would use, and she'd seen me using this make before, and it's the Stuart yarns from way up in Inverness. And oh, she said, this is the one I don't know how to say. I'll show you. The Stag Pollock. Now, Ailey and Rebecca will correct me on this. And it's her marshmallow base, 100% superwash merino fingering weight, and there's 400 meters. And then she sent me a wee bit that she had not used in one of her projects from the same make, same base. And thank you so much. I had used this exact skein in a shawl just recently, so, and I know how beautiful it is to work with, so it'll definitely go to good use. It'll just pop in my stash for now. So that's that. And then I have shown on Instagram quite a few times, sorry, noisy, about a Destash. I told you I get most of my hand-dyed yarn, at least, in Destashes on Instagram. And one of the Destashes that I have done very well out of is So Can Joe. So Can Joe Destash. I'll put it on the screen or down below. And she had knocked all of her hand-dyed skeins, and I think she still has hand-dyed skeins, down to £10 each. Now for a hand-dyed skein, that is just giving it away, really. But she messaged me. I have bought a bag off her before, and she had my address, and she messaged me and said, I just want to send you something. And I always say to anybody, you don't have to, please don't feel you need to. I'm so grateful for what I have, but thank you very much. And she sent me these beauties. 2 from Craft House Magic, all the yellows. I mean, couldn't be happier. One is DK, and it's Shiny Happy People. Whenever I talk about House Magic, I always end up the song going in my head, because she does all her names of her yarn on songs. and it's superwash merino nylon in DK, and that's not very usual, so they may end up being a pair of socks. And then Rio, 365 meters in 100 grams, 80% superwash BFL and 20% nylon. See the lovely flex in that. And then she sent me this one. Now I don't have a tag in this one, but I presume it's a merino nylon. Just beautiful. Thank you so much. I don't take these kindness for granted. I really appreciate you. And then last but not least is, oh, I found my tag from Blue Fern Yarns. There you go, from my lovely Calville shawl. Another lady got in touch with me because I said in one of my podcasts that my favourite thing is anything peppermint and chocolate, peppermint and tea, peppermint and smells. I just love it. And she messaged me and said, would I be able to send you, I make candles. Well, love candles. If you could see, I have a whole windowsill full of candles here in my craft room, and she sent me this. Now I hope you can see. It's going to focus. I can't see it. And it says love knitting. And she has these on her website now, and her website is Aura Beads, and it's aurabeads.co.uk, but I'll put the details down below. And I'd be dying to burn this, but I thought I better not. Oh, it's to die for. It's infused with wild orange, peppermint, eucalyptus, and includes a carnelian crystal for positive focus and energy while you're knitting. Oh, it's gorgeous. So pop along and see if you're interested in any of her candles. She does stitch markers too, which you will see in one wee minute. And I think that's it. The basket's empty. Now, birthday bash bonanza. I told you in my last podcast that I wanted for my birthday, I mean, look at the stuff I've been given. It's just outrageous. It's just fantastic. And as I say, we used to do a thing with the children, one toy in, one toy out. Now the toys might have just gone to the shed, or they might have gone to somebody who needed them more than us, and I've decided I need to do that with my yarn. If something comes in, I really have to think of blessing somebody, or destashing. So there will be one along the line somewhere, because I have just been given this beautiful yarn, but I wanted to bless somebody with a wee giveaway, and I have called it my 5 favourite things. So I'm joking around here looking to see, because I've got a mirror over there so I can see what I'm showing. And I've got my 5 favourite things in this bag, and I want to show you them now. So I said about the stitch markers from Aura. I'm going to be giving those away. Beautiful crystal-y kind of gem stitch markers from Aura Beads. Then everybody's talking about these at the minute. These are flexible barber cords, some people call them, but these are much cheaper. And they're from Knit and Living, and she calls them flexible stitch holders. And I have 2 packets, but what I think I'll do is just for postage, because I am going to have it worldwide, is take a couple out of each packet and put them in a nice wee tin or something and send them to you. So that's number 2. Number 3 is, have to do this. I've had this bag for a while and I've never used it, and it is this beautiful beauty here. Now, most knitters I know love to knit, love to read, love to drink tea or coffee, and this, I hope you can see, this embodies it all. It's beautiful. It's quite autumnal, although it's coming into the summer, but hey, that's all right. Got a lovely box bottom. Nope, I'm not be able to show it. Lovely box bottom. So I would say it would hold a good 2 to 3 skeins and your project. Lovely handles, pockets inside, like 1, 2, 6 pockets inside, and drawstring. Now I've never pulled it across. And this, of course, is from my favourite bag maker, Lovely Ez at So Yarnalicious. I have no idea if these things are focusing. And I wanted to bless somebody with this bag because it's a beautiful heavyweight canvas. It's not a light cotton, and I just thought that would be perfect for your whatever project you're wanting to do. And then not last but not least, next is I asked my beautiful friend Hannah of Hannah's Happy Space, who I go to knit group with. She works in my local yarn shop. She's a lovely friend, and she's got a podcast. Please go and support her podcast, Hannah's Happy Space, here on YouTube. And I got her to do this, of all days, not to let it be seen beautifully. I wanted a wee bit of me in your home. It's 100 grams. It's superwash merino nylon, and it turns out like a micro stripy speckle. Now, if you're not into this colour, somebody you know must be, and you could knit them something, could knit them socks or a one skein shawl or add something to it, and I am thrilled with it, and that'll be going to somebody as well. And the last thing to make it 5 is a pattern, and I will send you a pattern of your choice up to the value of £10. So it's quite a massive prize, but as you can see, I've been massively blessed. So just quick. Oh. And the stitch markers. So if you would like to win this prize, I'm going to leave it open for, what date is it, 23rd. I'm going to leave it open till the end of April, whatever podcast date I manage to podcast in April, if I get this camera sorted. I'm going to leave it open, but I will put reminder on the community tab on YouTube and on the Instagram to remind you that it's closing sold, but at least the 23rd of April, if not the 30th of April. Let's say the 30th of April. Let's do that. And I will get that sent out to whoever wins. And what I want you to do, it's worldwide. Please be a subscriber, because people have stuck with me from the word go, and I appreciate it so much. And so I want to bless those people rather than, people who've just decided they're like a wee skein of yarn. Please subscribe to the podcast, and if you're not in, you can't win. And the prompt, I was asking a few people what the prompt was, and because it's something frivolous, something silly, but I've decided I want to know what's your favourite thing about knitting or the craft that you do. So crocheting, sewing, cross stitch, what's your favourite thing about it? Does it help with your mental health? Does it calm you down? Does it I have one friend who's just given up smoking, and she says it's great because she has something to do with her hands, which is, brilliant. Does it just give you pure joy? You tell me, what's your favourite thing about knitting and crochet? Maybe it's the friends you've met. Maybe it's I don't know. Maybe it's just the feel of the yarn in your hands. I don't know. Something silly, some wee question silly, just the way everything is in the world, just a wee bit of silliness, and you could win that lovely, well, I think it's a lovely prize. I think it's a lovely prize. And there you go. That's the question. What's your favourite thing about knitting or crochet? And put them in the box down below, if you wouldn't mind. Now, this has been the longest podcast known to man, probably the worst cinematic podcast known to man, because I can see it's constantly trying to focus on me, and probably I shouldn't have put things in front of my face. Isn't that oh, never mind, next time. If you're leaving me here, if you've watched any podcast of mine, I always leave you with a little bit of scripture. I always leave you with a wee thought from God's word. And if you're leaving me now, if that's not your thing, I completely understand. And I would thank you so much for watching this nonsense today and sticking with me and persevering. But I do want to share a wee thought. And if you do want to stay, you never know, you might hear something that, might just give you a wee bit of encouragement today. But if you are going, thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe for the giveaway. Oh dear me. And put your wee answer in, and you never know, you might have a lovely wee package winging its way to you. I'm sorry, I'm looking down all the time. I'm going to try and look at the video. Right, for those who are staying, bless you all. I just want to share a wee something. I don't go into deep theological anything. I just want to share a wee thought with you this morning. You can see my notes today. And did I mention it's my birthday? And I find, you find maybe some people reflect on things from reflect in the new year, or they reflect in September when everything starts again, or I often reflect on my birthday. I often look back, and I use my birthday often to look back over things and just count my blessings, remember the good times, and it's just a very reflective time for me. And you know, I'm 50 on Sunday, and we'll have 50 whole years to look back on. I'm sure some of you who are a lot older than me are going, oh, that's nothing, but you know, it's quite a milestone, I think, and I can't believe it's come round. I was talking to a friend the other day who's the same age as me, and we used to, you know, he said it doesn't seem like yesterday that we were riding our bikes up and down the road, and the grey hair and the and the icky knees tell me that it's definitely time's moving on. But you know, I have lived and travelled to so many places, met many people, and have had the most amazing experiences. My job took me, I was a midwife for many years, and my job took me to places and situations that, looking back now, actually terrifies me. But you know, when you're young, you think the world's your oyster. Like anyone, I had low lows and high highs, not literal highs, but you know, I had very deep lows and very high highs. I used to love all the moving around, living out of a backpack, travelling by myself and meeting new people all the time. And I didn't have many constants, or, not an English word, sameness, you know. Now, however, at the grand old age of 50, as I think about my life, I am so thankful for all those experiences and amazing people who I have had the privilege to know and spend time with. But when I look at photographs, I often can't even remember the places that those photographs are from, or even the person's name. I've lost touch with folk over time, just through circumstances and distance, and sometimes even to guard my own heart, because I just miss them so much. I've cried many tears saying goodbye to folk over the years. But as I think of the blessings and hard times, I am reminded that the only constant I had really was God. God was with me all the time, no matter where I went. And despite taking till I was 18 to truly find him as my own personal saviour, and often trying to do things on my own strength, in my own way, he was always there. You know, Isaiah 43, chapter 2, Isaiah chapter 43 verse 2 says, when you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and through the rivers, they shall not overwhelm you. When you walk through fire, you shall not be burned, and the flame shall not consume you. Looking back, of course, I've got regrets. I have missed opportunities, and for some things I wish I could get a do-over. But I have zero regrets about letting God have his way in my life. You know, we used to sing a wee song, and some of you'll know it. It's let the Lord have his way in your life every day. There's no rest, there's no peace until the Lord has his way. Place your life in his hands, rest secure in his plans. Let the Lord have his way. It isn't always easy, and the Lord has pulled me out of my comfort zone more times than I can count. I felt like it's a real battle, and honestly, sometimes I felt like giving up. I really have. But then I go back to his word and his promises, remembering that over 365 times in his word, he says he will never leave me or forsake me. I'm reminded of his love, the mess of sin he has saved me from, and the amazing assurance of a home in heaven with him someday. So as I reflect, maybe you will too. Listen, can you do very little? You can do very little about the situations in the past and the issues in your past. But today you could change your present and your future once and for all by trusting God with your life, saying sorry for the sins of the past, and truly coming to him for salvation. No regrets. You know, Philippians chapter 3 verse 12 to 14 says, not that I have already obtained all this, or I have already arrived at my goal, but I press on to take hold of that for which Christ Jesus took hold of me. Brothers and sisters, I do not consider myself yet to have taken a hold of it, but one thing I do, forgetting what is behind and straining towards what is ahead, I press onwards towards the goal, to win the prize for which God has called me heavenwards in Christ Jesus. And that's my prayer for you today, to strive to go towards the goal. But maybe you're sitting here saying, Ruth, what on earth are you talking about? I don't have a clue what you're talking about. Please get in touch. Please email me on ruthlovestoknit@gmail.com, and I will do my best to help you understand what salvation means, what our faith is talking about, and how you could change your life. I can't make you do anything. I will not make you do anything. It's only by God's Spirit that He would work in your life and work in your heart to let you see that He loves you so much and He has an amazing plan for you. I thank you so much. This has been the worst podcast I've ever recorded. And I hope you can get something out of this and your eyes don't go crosswords. I want to thank you again for watching. Don't forget to comment, subscribe and comment for the giveaway. And I'm going to leave you on this note, and I will see you again soon, hopefully with a fixed iPad. And I just can't thank you enough for being here with me, and I hope you all have a great time till I see you again. All right, God bless. Bye.